When it comes to the manager equation there, two managers, both champions in Germany, both have been champions in England, both have been champions in Europe. But, Jose, you've already played for one of them, so it's a bit unfair if I ask you first. So I have to go to Jamie, because I know Jose's going to say Jurgen Klopp, no doubt. It's already been his manager, but neither has been your manager, to the best of my knowledge, Jamie O'Hara. So who would you go for?
No, it's an incredibly tough question, because they're both great managers. I would have loved to work for both of them. I think if I had to pick, I would pick Pep Guardiola, because I was the type of player who liked to have the ball. A midfielder who liked to be on it, passing, moving, passing, quick touches. And I think that's how Pep plays. To be honest, I don't think Klopp would have liked me, because I weren't fit enough. I wouldn't have got in his side, because they're so fit and so dynamic. They play with this sort of, they're just everywhere. They're all over the park. I don't think I would have got in his team. So for me, I probably wouldn't get in the Pep's team either, but I would have probably picked him, because I think he can turn a player into something special. You look at Jack Grealish, I think he's come on leaps and bounds since he's gone there. Foden's amazing. I think he's got the best out of Sterling. He's got the best out of De Bruyne. So for me, I would go with Pep, but they're both world class.
Let's be honest here, Jamie, given the amount of money that both managers have spent, I think it's Klopp who's more likely to buy you with the budget constraints that Liverpool seem to put on him. No offence, you're just a little bit older now, that's all. But Jose, I think that's a really valid point, though, because if you look at the net spend of Guardiola and Klopp over the years, and Liverpool and Manchester City over the past decade, it's apples and oranges between the two sides. I know Liverpool has spent a lot on Van Dijk and Alisson, but they've had to sell to make most of these purchases. Look at how much activity they've actually done in the past 2 years.
Well, even last summer they signed Konate, and they made profit with the sales. You know, I think it's completely two different clubs with two different kind of businesses. Manchester City is the kind of club that they sign players that they already been made. You know, when they sign Sterling, it's true, and I agree with Jamie, they improved Sterling, but as well he improved with age, because they signed him really young and he was a world-class talent already. And for me, and it's not because I play under Klopp, I would have loved to play under Pep as well, to see how he actually works inside, because it's just knowledge of football, and they are two of the best managers in history of football. That's the reality. But what Klopp is done with Liverpool, I just put myself as an example. When I was there with other managers, they were really good managers, King Kenny, you know, Brennan, top managers. But when Klopp came into the club, he changed into a team that maybe was struggling to get into a top four, to a team that is won trophies, you know, with not really spending what Chelsea, City, United are spending in salaries or in transfers. You know, that's the reality. Look, Robertson, they got it for 8 million. Matip is free. Trent is free. Van Dijk, yeah, Van Dijk and Alisson, because like you say, they sold Coutinho. He bought him at Liverpool when I was there as well. So Jota, Mane, Salah, they signed all these players before they actually were world-class. That's the reality. They became world-class at the club. Phil Foden is true as well. He's actually still becoming world-class, but very, very good player. But Rodri was incredible for Atletico Madrid. Ruben Diaz was very good. Ederson. Yeah, they're good players, but spending the money like they are doing, it's a lot more easy to sign the right player. That's the reality. When you go out there and spending Kane, Haaland, Mbappe, it's more easy than when you go and sign Robertson from Hull City team that is relegated. You know, and even then, he made players like this. So obviously, it's like you say, I've been under Klopp, you know, and I play under him. And what I like about him, and that he just mentioned as well, is very open. You don't see one player talking about him. I didn't see about Pep is few players in the past that they've not been talking great about him. I'm not sure. It's been Eto'o, Ronaldinho, some players that they've not been talking the best about him. And about Klopp, I don't see one player yet talking about him. And I'm telling you, for example, myself, I didn't play with him. I played 2 games, I think it was. It's true that I was injured most of the time. My knee wasn't right. But I like it because he was so clear to me. He went straight to me. He said, Jose, this is like this, like this, like this. And actually, he rewarded me to be captain 1 game for Liverpool, because he knew I was having very, very bad time with my knee. So it's these tiny things, well, called tiny, you know, massive things for me, that it makes you value him as a human being as well, not just as a manager. And I love the way Liverpool way. The Liverpool way I love it. I love it.
Final thing here, the second question to Paul Ince just now was, let's take it back, let's roll back the years. There's an 18-year-old Jamie O'Hara. He's got no facial hair at the time. He's real baby face. World is his oyster and all of that. Who would you play for? Who would you sign for if every club was after you? Because I have no idea what you're going to say, Jamie. I know that it's probably not Arsenal. That's all I can tell.
No. Manchester United. Biggest club in the world. The most talked about club in the world. The richest history. Whenever I talk about Man United in the media, and I do sort of podcasts or come online or do anything, Manchester United are the biggest club in the world. And if I could go back when I was 18, you're talking about Sir Alex Ferguson being the manager, that would have been that is the dream club at that point. Even now, if you ask me now if I could go back and I could play one game in the Premier League, who would I want to play for? I'd play for Man United.
Jose, yourself? You were at Newcastle, let's not forget. You also, as we know, at Liverpool.
You know my answer.
Yes.
Listen, when you play for this club, obviously, listen, I didn't and I don't even want to play for United, so I don't know how they are inside the club. But LFC as a club is different class. You know, I love Newcastle, don't get me wrong. I loved it, and I loved it my time there. I'm so grateful because they give me the opportunity to become a Premier League player. That's the reality. You know, but I see a lot of difference when I jump from Newcastle to Liverpool as a club. You know, the fans, obviously, in the cities, they are very, very similar. They're massive. You know, they support the club, and it's beautiful to play at St. James's Park. You know, I love it. You know, but the club, the measure of the club worldwide, when I was on holidays, for example, when I was away, you know, in pre-season or whatever, it's just incredible. And the people that work in the club, the fans, even then, even now, you know, it's just incredible. And I don't agree with Jamie. The best club probably in the world is Liverpool. Definitely is Liverpool, no Manchester.
I thought maybe you'll go a bit off tangent, Jose, and say Zaragoza, one of your former clubs, Villarreal, Celta, maybe, but it went back to Liverpool,
Norwich.
of course. Oh, yeah, any other club, any other club.